always important as well, because it seems to be falling off the school curriculum in many ways. We hear about obviously sport losing, particularly on the curriculum in any schools, but how important is it at the junior level?
Yeah, no, obviously it's the most, for me, it was the most enjoyable thing. Obviously, going through school and getting out and playing and being active, and that's what you want. Obviously nowadays, obviously with a lot of computer games and stuff like that to keep kids indoors, it's easy just to give them iPads and things like that and just to keep them quiet. But ultimately, you want them to be outdoors, you want them to be healthy, you want them to be active outside. So to introduce that at a young age is very important.
Obviously, we're losing trace of that, because sometimes you've just alluded to how the computer games appears to be. You don't see too many people around streets now, do you? I know, okay, you can't do that, but playing fields seem to be very much falling by the wayside, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's just the way life's going at the moment. Now, obviously, growing up when I was a kid, it was always being out till dark and getting the call, the scream from your mum or your dad to get home and get in for dinner, and then even then you was in and out straight back down the park. So. Obviously it is changing, but that's society, that's the way life goes, and it's important for families to try and to keep some sort of sensibility when you want your kids to be outside and enjoying life, not just be stuck indoors and be under technology.
I suppose the other factor that matters is, as well, it's all about exercise. Everyone's not going to follow in your footsteps, but it's still important about going in some directions.
Yeah, of course it is. It's not just about going into a sport and going into it to try and be the best at it. It's going out there to enjoy it and see where it takes you. Obviously, if you enjoy it that much and you progress and you get to a good level of that, then great. But especially at this age, it's just about going out and having fun with friends.
And you've been here for over 2 decades now, so obviously you've kept yourself to a good fitness level, and that was an important factor for you to have the career you have, isn't it?
Of course it is, yes. Especially with a professional football player, and especially now the way that football's going, it's about being an athlete now, and you find out definitely after a game, you certainly feel the force of the 90 minutes Premier League game. But yeah, being fit and that is key, and that you could say that was from probably a healthy childhood.
Into the early stages of the Premier League at this moment in time, people always look at tables, that's the temptation, particularly of fans. Yeah. But really the picture doesn't start to take shape at the moment. Steve's 15 games maybe beyond that. People will look at Stoke and think because they had a great finish, they can hit the ground running. Didn't quite take place at the minute, has it? No, obviously with the games that we've had, it's been very indifferent really. Obviously we've lost a couple, drew a couple, and obviously won. So I think on all that as well, we've not really played to the abilities as the team played last year, and obviously what I watched last year, especially to the back end of last season. And as you said, obviously the key was to try and start this season how they left off. It's not really happened, but you can still see it. You can see that in glimpses of games that it is there, and it's a matter of time, as you say, and that just comes with games. A few new faces, including yourself as well, so that's when it takes time to gel. Coming into it and try and get onto the system that Mark Hughes wants, isn't it? Yeah.
No, obviously we've got a huge squad, a very big squad, as you probably know, and players are getting left out on a weekly basis. Obviously, one of them is myself, and it's just keeping yourself fit, keeping yourself right mentally, and when you get a chance, you got to take it. And it's fighting for competitions. It's a healthy squad, and it's a healthy competition to have in all areas of the positions, and it can only be good for the football club.
You're a versatile player, you can fill a full number of roles. Of course, you can either be the shielding player, you can be the attacking player, but one or two players obviously in good form at the moment, including Glenn Whelan, of course, and Stephen Nzonzi. They force behind, so is that more difficult for you?
Yeah, of course it is. Obviously you don't want individuals to go off form. You want the team to do well first and foremost. You want to be picking up points, because over the course of the season it is a squad game. I'm sure everyone will get their fair share of games, but the boys have been terrific, especially obviously as you said there in the middle of the park, and all you've got to do is respect that, wait for an opportunity, and if that comes you've got to take it.
Swansea up next, of course, Sunday game, and obviously major points to get at home. That's the big factor, isn't it? Yeah,
well, that's one of the biggest the biggest things that we've been disappointed with so far this season was the home form. We was looking to really kick on from last year. And every time that I've ever come to the Britannia, it's always been a tough place to come. And if you do come away with 3 points, let alone 1, then you've done very, very well. Obviously, a couple of teams have obviously gone away with 4 points, and we need to start turning that back into wins for the home team.
International break, obviously, it's obviously a bit of a different time around the football club, I guess. Yeah. Obviously, seeing players go. Just what is it like seeing faces go in and around the camp?
Yeah, it's obviously being at different clubs. It depends on how many internationals they've obviously got. I mean, I was obviously at Chelsea when international scene was on. Basically, there was nobody there when I was there then. Now, obviously, we've got enough to do a decent training session. And it's just obviously keeping yourself fit, keep ticking over, and just waiting for the boys to come back from their duty to then prepare for the league game. So it is different. Obviously, you don't really work on key factors for games. It's just about sort of keeping the fitness up and just ticking over really.
Does that make it harder that there's not many of you there? You've still got a game to prepare for, and obviously how the international fixtures are staggered now. Obviously, players play on different nights of the week, don't they, and come back to the squad. Does that make it more difficult?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult, obviously, for a player. But I think the biggest person it's difficult for is probably the manager, because obviously people come back at different stages, and obviously now that once they sort of after the first game, and obviously it gets to the second game, and people play on different nights. The coaching staff and the manager, they want to prepare for the weekend, and if they're not going to get some players back till a Thursday or a Friday for the weekend, it's obviously very tough. But for a player, you've just got to get on with it. Obviously, we've been in the game now long enough to be professional enough to get on with it, and it's just part and parcel of the job now.
And just finally for me, one of the kids asked you about your favourite manager. You obviously said it was Hughes. Worked with him before. Have you seen any differences in him from your time with him before and to now?
No, not really. I mean, obviously when I was at Fulham, it was a short spell. Obviously, it was only from January to the end of the season there, but it was exactly the same, as it's been here. He wants it to be good, fast, attacking football. And obviously, if we lose the ball, it's obviously sharp recovery runs and getting into a shape and hard to break down. So obviously, he wants to play the football that's pleasing on the eye, and that was produced obviously definitely in the last season with Stoke, and hopefully we can get back to that level.